Conditional formatting rules can help you visualize your data set, identify patterns, trends, and potential problems in your data set. And if you're not sure how to set those up, you can use Copilot to help you. So I'm going to show you how we can do that. So I'm going to open up Copilot, and I'm going to create a conditional formatting criteria based on my sales column. So I'm going to say, create the following conditional formatting rules for column G. I'm going to do Shift Enter just to organize my criteria a bit better, but this isn't necessary for setting this up in Copilot. So I'm going to say highlight cells red and use a white font color if the value is less than 100. And then I'm going to say highlight cells green and use a black font color if the value is greater than 500. So I'm setting up multiple rules here. And so what Copilot's going to do is first show me what that logic looks like and what the formatting looks like before actually going ahead and applying it. So if I'm happy with what it looks like, I can hit the Apply button. So this is what it looks like if the cell value is less than 100. It's going to apply this formatting. If the value is greater than 500, this is what it's going to do. So in this case, I'm happy with that. I'm going to hit the Apply button. And now it's going to go ahead and set that up. So the first thing it's going to do is set up that red formatting. So we've got the values less than 100. And now it's going to set up the ones over 500 with that green formatting. So easy enough. Now let's also create another conditional formatting rule. This time I'm going to use a color scale. So I'm going to say create a conditional formatting color scale based on the price column. So in this case, we're looking at the price column and saying now I want to easily see the highs, lows, and median values. And I haven't specified any sort of color. So Copilot's just going to use the default setup, and that's going to give me the red, white, and green colors. So I'm going to hit apply again, and it's going to set that up for the price column. And so now I can see the low values, the high values. Actually, these are the intermediate values. These are the low values in red. So it applies that default gradient if you were to use the color scale. I'm also going to ask it to use data bars, which is another type of conditional formatting. So I'm going to say create conditional formatting data bars for the quantity column. So in this example, let's also highlight the quantity. So this time I can see data bars showing low, moderate, and high values. And again, it uses the default green gradient there. I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to set that up as well. And so now once this is done, we have now our quantity having one type of conditional formatting, our price having another, and our total sales having yet another. Now, the one limitation that I've encountered so far is trying to create conditional formatting to apply for the entire row if a certain value is met. So that's the one thing that right now Copilot isn't able to set up properly without coming across issues. But if you're setting up conditional formatting for individual columns, then it can definitely help you set that up. It can also remove any conditional formatting for you as well. So I can say remove all conditional formatting rules from this sheet, and it's going to do that for me. And that's not a terribly difficult thing to do. You just go to conditional formatting and clear all the rules, but that's another thing that you can do right from within Copilot. And it's going to tell you the one change that it's going to do: clear all conditional formatting rules on A2 to K1000, which is my data set. And I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to remove those from there. So as you can see with Copilot, there's a lot of things it can do with conditional formatting. It can't do the terribly advanced stuff, but it can help you with some basic conditional formatting rules, setting up multiple criteria, using data bars, and using color scales as well, and using icons as well. It can do that as well. So there's a lot of things you can do if you're not sure how to set up that conditional formatting. And then you can also go into the conditional formatting rules to see what Copilot's actually done and how it's set that up.